it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today is a super fun video because it is going to be ranking all of my 2020 eyeshadow palettes. I just want to say a few things before I jump into the palettes. This is the only roundup video I'm doing for 2020. The rest of the products I tried throughout the year, I felt like I didn't have enough time to try a lot of them out. And I really, going through the ones that I have tried enough, I have like 5 products that I've tried a lot. So I didn't want to do a favorites of 2020 with like the 5 products that I actually tried. That didn't seem right. So I'm just ranking all the palettes that I tried this year. I did try to recall all the palettes I purchased this year. I went through my entire collection multiple times to make sure, and I even went through my declutter videos and wrote down the palettes that I decluttered that I bought this year. So I think I got them all, and it is like 30 or 31 palettes. And I did also want to mention, because I feel like I look really cute in this outfit, these earrings are from Earfleek. You can sign up for their subscription by clicking the link down in my description box. It is like $3.50 a month to have a pair of earrings sent to you every month. It's really fun. And then this super cute top is from TJ Maxx, in case you are interested in it. And yes, I realize this eye look is not symmetrical. I'm in the middle of my work week. It's like late at night. It's 8 o'clock. I was just playing around and I realized after I was done with the eyes, oh man, they are not the same at all. But I don't have time to redo it. So sorry, that's what you get, but I still think it's cute. Anyway, we are ranking all of my eyeshadow palettes from 2020. So let's get started, because it might be a while. First of all, I'm starting at the bottom and going to the top. I decluttered 3 palettes I bought this year. So those palettes are going at the bottom, and I'm just gonna insert pictures somewhere of them. The bottom palettes, this is 30 and 31, the bottom 2 palettes. They are from Milani. It is the Gilded Nude and the Luster Light palettes. I will have them, like I said, pictures right here. I just thought the quality of these was terrible. The color stories were beautiful, but they creased, they faded. I have never had shadows wear so terribly on me in my life. I have dry lids, I don't have oily lids, and if I wear a primer, my shadows last overnight into the next day if I don't wash my makeup. Those shadows didn't even last a few hours on my eyes with the primer. So unfortunately, because they creased and disappeared on my eyes, those 2 are the bottom, even though the color stories are so beautiful. So that is number 30 and 31. And then number 29, again, I will have a picture somewhere up here. It is the e.l.f. Bite Size Palette in Cream and Sugar. This one, a lot of people rave about these e.l.f. Bite Size palettes, and I've seen them ranked really high in other people's videos. But I felt like these were really overhyped. I only tried the one, the Cream and Sugar, and I felt like it was patchy. It didn't blend well. It just didn't perform that great, and the color story wasn't my preference. Like, it had a super deep color and a super pale matte, but no mid-tone matte. That really bugged me about it, but I just didn't think it was that great. It was okay for the $3 price tag, but with everybody hyping them up and saying they were as good as high-end, I just was so disappointed, and I ended up decluttering this one, and that is why it is at number 29. At number 28, it's the Profusion Mauves. Let me not blind you with the shiny cover. So this is the palette. It is a beautiful color story. I love this marbled shade right here. It looks so pretty, but every time I play with this palette, I just hate how my eyes turn out. I never create a look I'm happy with this palette, and every single time I reach for this palette and play with it, I end up wiping off the look and reaching for my Huda Mauves palette instead. So just because I haven't been able to create a single look that I enjoy out of this palette, it's at the bottom. So it's number 28. And then number 27 is this Tom Ford Quad in 31 Sous Le Sable. It is this nude quad right here. I was sent this from influencers, so I did not purchase it. And I was so excited to receive a product from Tom Ford because, you know, it's expensive. This is like an $80-something palette for 4 shades. That's crazy. I would never buy this for myself, but I just feel like it's meh. Like the shimmer is so, like, can you even see that? It's so dull. Like it's so soft and subtle, and the mattes are so sheer. Like I don't feel like this is $80-something worth of shadow, and the colors, like, they're all so similar. I don't feel like you can really do any more than one look with it. I don't know. This is way overpriced. I was really disappointed in this. At number 26 is the Blush Tribe Neon Dreams Revamped palette. This is a neon pressed pigment palette, and I love the color story. I love Blush Tribe. Sadly, they no longer exist, and I got this on their like going out of business sale, but these are really hard to work with. I saw that in reviews before I purchased it, but I was like, it's such a good deal and these are such cool neons, maybe I can make it work. These, if you blend them at all, they blend away and disappear. So they're really cool, really intense colors. I will use them in some way, but you can't blend them at all or they disappear. And if you like try and pack them all over the lid, they can get a little bit patchy. Like if you're going over it to make sure it's saturated, then you can remove some of the pigment by going over it. So it's just a little tricky to work with, but it is beautiful. Sadly, Blush Tribe no longer exists, so you can't get that. Next one, 25. Bare Minerals Joyful Color. It was their one of their holiday releases from this year. I did do a video on this on my channel, reviewing it and doing a look. I love the color story, how it's like peachy neutral and dark purples. It's so beautiful, and the packaging is so cool. Like it slides out so you can recycle it easier, but it's all shimmer shades. Like even this deep dark color has shimmer in it. Nothing is a matte, and I mean, I love my shimmers, don't get me wrong, but I really feel like I need mattes to really build my look, and I hardly ever reach for this because there are no mattes in it, even though it is beautiful and the shadows are good quality. It needs mattes, I'm sorry. And number 24, where are you? So I ranked 2 palettes at 24, so technically I guess I had 32 palettes total, because these are the Fenty Snap Shadows. I have shades 8 and 1. So this is number 1. It is their brown little 6 pan, and then number 8 is the pastel all shimmer one. And these are okay. Like I did a video comparing this to the e.l.f. Bite Size Shadow to see like drugstore versus high-end mini palettes was better, and this definitely was better than the e.l.f. It blended a lot better. It wasn't patchy. Like it was good, but they're not great. You know what I'm saying? Like they work, but they don't blow my socks off. And especially these shimmers, they tend to get hard pan so easy, and I feel like I waste so much product like scraping off the hard pan so I can use it. It's just ridiculous how fast these shadows get hard pan without me even like wetting my brush or using any moisture. They just develop it. It's weird. So that is number 24. Number 23 is a recent release. It is from Beige Cosmetics, their Ho Ho Holidays collection, the Nice palette. And these are the colors. It's super beautiful. I love this color story. I've been obsessed and living for neutral, colorful like mixtures. That's been my jam for 2020, and you will see that in the ranking for sure. But the thing with this one and why it's like towards the bottom is the pigment on them is so sheer. Like, I'm used to Beige Cosmetics palettes. I've been using BH for a long time and I really love them, and their quality has gotten so good, and I'm used to them having creamy, blendable, and super pigmented shadows, and these ones are so sheer and just you have to really build them up. And that really disappointed me because that's not the typical formula I'm used to. So that is why this one ranks at number 23. Number 22 is also a recent addition to my collection. I won a giveaway from Samantha March. I'm so excited about it. Thank you, Samantha. If you don't follow her, you should. She's amazing. And in December, she did 12 days of giveaways on her Instagram, and I won like the Ofra themed one, so I got a ton of Ofra products, including this palette right here. It is the Signature Palette Symphony. And this one, it's good quality. Like, the shadows are pigmented, they blend well, they're awesome. It's just the color story that makes me not want to reach for it. Like, I've used it a couple of times and I like how they perform, but I'm just not happy with the color pairings that I get out of this. Like, this is like a bronzy tone, a pinky tone, like a champagne-y gold tone, a purple shimmer, and a dark brown matte. And I just don't get how pink, purple, and bronze like build a look. I don't like, because this seems like an everyday palette. Like, pink, purple, and bronze to me are not an everyday look. So it's really good quality. I want to try more of these little mini palettes from Ofra. I just am not in love with the color story. I think we're on number 21, pretty sure. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm already losing track. This is the Profusion Yellow Fusion palette. It is from their neon collection they had in like the spring or summer. I did a video filming with this in their neon liner and their neon glitter, and I loved the look and I love the quality of these shadows. This is so much better quality than the Mauves palette, but all of these yellows come out so similar on the eyes. I don't feel like there's enough differentiation in color in these yellows, and I really don't like the like deep color is a warm brown. I don't like how it makes my looks turn out. I wish this was a black, but all these yellows look the same. But it's really good quality, and I wish I had picked up the other neon palettes because I do like it. Number 20. I acquired quite a few palettes in December. So number 20, I think I got in December as well. This is the Makeup Geek Fall Harvest palette. It went on sale for $4, and my fiance is so sweet. He knows I'm super obsessed with makeups. Amber alert. Hold on, I'm gonna stop filming and come back to the Fall Harvest palette. Okay, sorry about that. There was an Amber alert and I had to check my phone and see what was going on. They just automatically come out all the time. It's so sad how many times a week my phone goes off from those. That's so sad. But the Makeup Geek Fall Harvest. Let's go back to that. So my fiance is so sweet. He knows how obsessed with makeup I am, and he joined a makeup group on Facebook so he could keep up with things and like talk to me about makeup. And he saw in that makeup group that this was on sale for $4 on the Makeup Geek website, and so he bought it for me. Oh my gosh, isn't he the sweetest? And it is a beautiful palette. It's a bunch of browns with this pop of green, and it's really good quality. I do like Makeup Geek shadows. I believe this is the old formula because these are the round pans, but regardless, I like the old formula. I think it's really good. The problem with this is the browns, like all these dark colors, they all are so similar, and this palette is so deep and dark. Everything turns out dark and smoky, and like so many of the colors look the same. So that's why it's ranking so low where it is, but it's really great quality, and if it's still on sale for $4, I definitely recommend getting it. Number 19. This one was tough. So I don't know if you've seen my other video this week, but I started a new series called Palette of the Week, in which I feature a palette from my collection every week, do some looks with it, play with it, whatever. And I use the Nomad Tokyo palette. And this one originally, when I laid all my palettes out and ranked them, was ranked a lot higher. But in filming that video, I used colors I hadn't used previously, these grays and this yellow, and I had such a horrible time trying to make them work that I had to move it down in the ranking, because I literally wiped off my look 4 times and started over. I did 5 different attempts at looks in that video. It was an awful time. This is a pastel palette with a row of mattes, a row of satins, and a row of like duochrome glittery colors. It's really beautiful. I really love it. A lot of these shadows are good quality, and like the orange, the pink, like these ones over here are really good, but the grays and the yellow I had such a hard time with. This one does not blend out. If once you pack it on and you try and blend it out, it'll leave a line there. It won't blend. And these two dusted away into nothing. The yellow and the light gray, they dusted away into nothing when I tried to blend them. So I wasn't having a good time with this. I do love these shimmer shades. They are kind of more topper shades, but they're beautiful. Like I said, these pastels over here are really good, but not everything in here is good, and it gave me a really tough time. Maybe it's user error, maybe I suck at makeup, but it's my experience with the makeup, so it's number 19. Number 18 is a very pricey palette. It is the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. I got this for myself for my birthday. It was on sale on Sephora. I believe it is still on sale at Sephora, even though I think it was originally supposed to be limited edition, I think. But it is this pretty mix of neutrals and colors, and I like this palette. I do. Would I pay the full $129 price tag for it? Absolutely not. Is it worth $65? Kinda. The issue I have with this palette, I love the mattes. The mattes are so beautiful, pigmented, creamy, like foolproof mattes. You cannot go wrong with these mattes. Where you want to put them, how you want to blend them, they just do exactly what you want them to do. It's like these mattes can read your mind. It's amazing. But the shimmers, let me try and swatch them and show you. I'm gonna swatch a couple next to the Tom Ford swatches that I have on my hand. Oh my god, what the? Okay, so here I have Limoncello and Gusty right here. You can hardly see them, and I want to show you Exotic. So I'm rubbing into Exotic, right, this green, to try and get pigment. Look at my fingers. Can you see anything? I barely see a hint of green. Like, the shimmers are non-existent. I don't understand what happened with this palette. I know Natasha Denona has good shimmers. I have the mini gold palette. The shimmers in the mini gold palette are just top-notch shimmers. Not in the Tropic palette. They're non-existent. So I love the mattes. If you love mattes and you love these colors of mattes, I do recommend this palette, especially like I said, because it's on sale at Sephora. But if you're looking at this palette for the shimmers, you're gonna be disappointed because they're non-existent. Number 17 is a really fun palette that I kind of want to own, like all the palettes from this series, but this is the only one I own. It is Juvia's Place The Violets. I have to be really careful when showing you guys this because one of my shadows is actually not glued in. It falls out, so let me try and hold it in. This is what the palette looks like. It has 4 shimmers and 2 mattes. It's a really beautiful all purple color story, and I feel like the shimmers are different enough that you can create a variety of purple looks with it, so that's really cool for a monochromatic palette. The thing is, the purple mattes are not that great. The shimmers, awesome. Standard Juvia's Place quality, awesome shimmers. The purple mattes are super sheer and you really have to build them, and it's not always easy to build them, and I definitely have better purples in my collection. So this is number 7. Is it 17? Yeah, it's number 17. Sorry, I'm losing track. All right, number 16. We're almost halfway there. So this is the Ofra Velourian Beauty Mixed Pro Palette. It is a face and eye palette, and it has a bronzer, 2 highlighters, 3 blushes, and all those eyeshadows. And I also got this from Samantha March in her giveaway that I won. And at first, when I used this, I was just like all about the face products, and I didn't think the eyeshadows were that great, but I kept trying it, and the more I used the eyeshadows, the more I loved them, and the more I realized they are like the perfect eyeshadows for quick, easy, everyday looks. And I really love this palette. The highlighters, if you've never tried Ofra highlighters, you definitely should. They're blinding, they're beautiful. The cheek products blend amazing, and they're so pigmented. This bronzer has some glitter in it, but it's not noticeable on the skin. But I love everything about this palette, and it's weird because at first I was like, this is such a weird color story, like this weird pinky red and this orange, but it just works for my easy everyday work looks. I love it so much. So we are getting into like the top half of the ranking where I love everything and I don't see anything wrong with anything, so this was really hard to rank all of these. Number 15 is another BH palette because love BH, bought a lot of them this year. This is from their travel series. It is the Trendy in Tokyo palette. It is like their rainbow palette, and it has a beautiful mix of mattes and shimmers, and I think this is my favorite like rainbow palette in my collection. I don't have a lot. I only have like a handful of rainbow palettes. It's not like I collect all the rainbow palettes, but I think this is definitely my favorite rainbow palette in my collection. These are not quite as pigmented as the most recent releases from BH. It's a little on the more like buildable side. Let me see if I have room on my hand. So if you can see that blue, like it's a little more sheer, but because it's such bright colors, I actually kind of like that because it makes them easier to like control and work with if they're buildable. Does that make sense? Like sometimes it's nice to have buildable colors when they're so bright and crazy. So I really love this palette. I think it's a great rainbow palette. I just don't always reach for the rainbow on a regular basis. So that is number 15. Number 14 is one from the Tribe Beauty box in Angelica Nyquist collaboration. Sorry, I paused there because I don't know how to say her last name. I hope I said it right. She has an amazing channel, and she collaborated with Tribe Beauty Box at the end of 2019. I believe I received my package in January. I know I didn't play with this palette till January because the first time I used it, I filmed with it in January. And so it's the Miracle palette from Glamlight. It is this beautiful pink berry neutral palette that is just stunning. The quality of these shadows is out of this world. It really makes me want to try so much more from Glamlight. The only thing that deters me from trying more Glamlight is the packaging that they come out with. It's such weird shapes and so big and bulky. Like, I don't like that at all. I like smaller palettes. I like things that are easy to store. So I haven't bought any more Glamlight, but the quality of their shadows is so amazing. And if you like pinks, I highly recommend this. I just don't reach for pinks that often, so that's why it's not higher up, but it is so good. Number 13, another BH Cosmetics palette. Are you surprised? It is from the Weekend Vibes collection. It is the Mimosa palette, and these are the colors. It is a pinky toned palette with a pop of yellow and orange. It's really beautiful. It reminds me of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe 2 collab. Is Morphe 2 a brand? Not Morphe 2 the brand. I think it's a brand. I mean the like second palette that she did with them. It's beautiful, and it really reminds me of that, and I feel like I'm getting that beautiful color story without having this huge ass palette and buying. Is there another Amber Alert? Oh, that's so sad. Who's abducted now? That's sad. Okay, I don't know what I was saying. This is great quality. This is like the kind of shadows that BH has started making standard in all their palettes. It's the more pigmented, more creamy, just more amazing formula, and I really love it. This is just not in like the top 10 or anything because it's pink, and I don't reach for pinks that often. Number 12, another palette I acquired in December. How many palettes did I acquire in December? You'll have to count for me because I haven't counted. But this is the Naked Reloaded from Urban Decay. It was 50% off on Ulta, and I was like, Merry Christmas to myself, I'm getting that. It is so beautiful. I actually got it because I watched a video where Samantha March was like going through all of her Urban Decay products and like recommending the best products, and she recommended this, and I've been super into neutrals lately, so once I saw this was 50% off, I was like, done. It's really great quality. It is like the good Urban Decay, like, you know. Sorry, I've been talking so much that I'm killing my throat. Sorry. You know, like how Urban Decay or Too Faced or brands like that can kind of be inconsistent. Like, they have really good quality palettes, but then sometimes it's like, what's going on, guys? This is the good stuff, and it is a really beautiful, neutral, everyday color story, and I really like that pop of coral right there. It kind of reminds me of like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette that came out that was limited edition, but I kind of like this color story better than that one. It's really great. I mean, I might have ranked it higher if I had more time to play with it, but since I've only had it for about a month, I didn't feel it was fair to rank it higher when I haven't had it for that long and haven't used it that much. So number 11 is another Urban Decay palette that I got this year, but this one I got like in the spring or something. This is the Mini Honey palette. I think they called it Little Buzzed, pretty sure. It originally came out in a set for holiday 2019, but then they released it as an individual product this year. And oh my gosh, I just noticed through this mirror that I have like green right here. How did I do that? Okay, it's a little mini 6-pan palette. It has 2 mattes and 4 shimmers. I really love it. I feel like it's super versatile. You can create a variety of looks. So you can create a bronzy look, a gold look, like a deep smoky look. You can do several things with this palette. It's not just like a one look pony. That's my mom. I should check that. Anyway, I super love this. If you like are lusting after the Naked Honey, but like you think it's too many of the same shade, or you think it's too expensive, go for this one. It's really good. Okay, I turned my phone on silent, so hopefully my mom messaging me and Amber Alerts won't bother us anymore. But number 10, we're in the top 10. It's so exciting. Number 10 is another BH Cosmetics palette. It is the Avocado Toast palette from the Weekend Vibes collection. This one is their green palette, but it does have some neutrals in it. And again, amazing quality. Highly recommend it. I really love it. I just haven't been reaching for super colorful palettes, so it's number 10 instead of higher up, but I do love it and I really recommend it. I really wish I had gotten the Sweet Shop palettes this year, because I keep hearing that those are super amazing quality, but they were like $18 a piece, and they never, that I saw, got discounted. They just sold out, and I usually wait for Beige to get discounted, so I missed out waiting for a sale. Oh well. Anyway, where are we? Number 9. Sorry about rambling on, but I just want to point out that, yeah, there's no Sweet Shop in this ranking because I was waiting for a sale and they sold out. Next is the Zoeva Precious palette. This came out, I believe, holiday 2019, but I didn't get it till this year. It is this really pretty purpley but also like neutral palette. It has these 2 mattes and then 4 shimmers, and I love this. This is such good quality, and it's such an effortless palette. Like, it's so easy to just throw this in the crease, throw any of these colors on the lid, and then if I feel like being a little smoky and dramatic, throwing this in the outer corner. Like, it's so quick and effortless and easy. I absolutely love it, and has such fun, beautiful colors that are like colorful but also like neutral and work appropriate. You know what I mean? So I really love this one. If you can find this anywhere, I don't think it's available. I recommend it, but it's really good. You guys, I can't even. I'm looking down in my box. I have 3 more BH palettes. 3 more. This one, number 8, the Smitten in Switzerland from the Travel series. This one is my jam. It is a colorful neutral color story with one of the best blacks in my whole collection. This black is phenomenal, and it's just what I live for right now. Like, it's neutral, but it's also got like purples and greens and a yellow, but it's like wearable and easy, but the quality is amazing. Like, Smitten in Switzerland, I'm obsessed with it. My fiance thought I should rank this one number 1, but I haven't used this a ton this year, even though like I look at it and I stare at it, it's so pretty. Dog hair. And I swatch it all the time, and I love it, and I love every time I use it. There's ones that I pull for more. So next is number 7, Corda Rosa. This one is from Sigma Beauty. It was, I believe, their spring summer release, and that's what I use it for. It is a beautiful, like, corally peachy color story, and I am obsessed with this in the spring and summer. Like, I wore this so much this past spring and summer off camera. Like, I love this. I hardly ever wear shadows enough to take off the imprint, but several of these shadows, the imprint is gone because I've worn this so much, and if you haven't tried the new Sigma formula, I highly recommend it. I really want the Warm Neutrals palette because it looks so pretty and I want to get it, but I'm waiting for a sale. But this one is amazing. Highly recommend it. Number 6 is a really cool palette. It is from Mellow Cosmetics. It is from their Cutie collection, the Platinum edition. And it looks like this. It's so stunning. And this was a birthday gift from my friend Mary. And I did a get ready with me with it. I'm just gonna pull up my sleeves so I can show you these super intense, amazing shimmers. And the super creamy pigmented mattes. Like, if you haven't tried Nabla, you need to. And I seriously want all of the Cutie palettes because, oh, I did that in a weird spot. Can you see that? Like, look at that. Look at that intense silver and bronze. And look at how pigmented that matte is. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And this is such a unique color story. And it can be like fun and dramatic, or you can soften it up for every day. It's so cool. I love it so, so much. I'm so glad Mary got this for me. Number 5 is my favorite all brown palette in my collection. Hold on, let me wipe off these swatches so I don't ruin my new shirt. Okay. This is the Maybelline Nudes of New York. I've heard it's a dupe for the Too Faced like new Nudes palette or whatever it's called. This is what it looks like. It has a nice ratio of mattes and shimmers and a nice variety of tones, and like it has light, mid-tone, deep, such a good variety. It's not like all too deep or all too light. And all right, my camera cut off. I think I was still talking about this palette. I wanted to say that I don't think it's good quality for the drugstore or good quality for the price. It is just stinking good quality. I would pay high-end prices for this, and it is one of my most used palettes of 2020 and my favorite all brown palette in my collection. Number 4 is another Sigma Beauty palette. It is the Untamed palette that was released in the fall. It's so beautiful, and it is the same high quality Sigma shadows. Sorry, I'm itching. The same high quality of their regular Sigma shadows, but it has like this grungy rainbow color story that is so unique and so cool. And even though this was like released as a fall palette and it kind of has a more fall color story, this is something I would reach for year round, and I love it. This is the neutral colorful mix that I love to go for, and I love the ratio of like light tones and deep tones, so you can still like, you can definitely go like dark and smoky, but you can still create light, easy looks. And like I said, the quality is amazing. It is definitely one of my favorite releases that I have purchased this year. Top 3! Oh my gosh, these ones were so hard to decide on. Well, all of these were so hard to decide on. Are you kidding? I've spent like a week ranking my palettes, swatching, creating eye looks, playing with them, trying to decide exactly the right spot for them. This one is so special. I don't know why I had to pause to say that, but I'm just like, I can't with this palette. It's just too good. This is the Beach Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin palette. It's part of their Weekend Vibes collection, and I can honestly say, without having tested them side by side, these are the best blues in my entire collection. I have blues from indie brands and singles and palettes. I have blues from high-end brands. I have blues from drugstore brands. I have all kinds of blues, and these are the best blues in my collection. They are so amazing. Let me just swatch some of the mattes for you so you can understand. I'm gonna do it this way so you can see, like, these blues are just the tits. Like, look at that. Do you see that? Do you see those? They're so pigmented and creamy and blendable. Like, amazing. Amazing. This is so good. I don't reach for blues that often, but this is so good. It had to be top 3. So let me clean off my little Smurfy fingers so we can rank the top 2. Number 2, I can say without a doubt, is my number 1 most used palette of 2020, and that is the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions Light. This was gifted to me in January of 2020 by my sister Jennifer, and it is just a cute little mini light nude palette, but I have worn this so much throughout the entire year. I had to rank it really high because I reach for this so often. This quality is good. It doesn't like blow my mind like those blues did, but it's good. What I really love is the color selection. The mattes are so unique. Like, this one comes off as a purpley tone, this one comes off as a pinky tone, this one comes off as a peachy tone. So I have such a variety of colors, but they're also at the same time soft and like everyday. And then you have this nice color to deepen up, and then you have a variety of shimmers to play with it as well that are so good. And I've traveled with this palette when I was traveling, when I lived in the middle of nowhere and had to travel to the city. This is what I traveled with. This has definitely been my most used palette of 2020. And if you are looking for like a go-to like everyday palette, I would definitely recommend the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions palettes. Are you guys ready for number 1? I'm so ready. I just want to give you a second. Can you guess what brand it is? Because if you've been paying attention in this video, I think you might be able to guess what brand it is before I even say what palette it is. So number 1 out of all my palettes of 2020 that I think is the best palette of 2020 that I have tried is the Beach Cosmetics Naughty palette from their Ho Ho Holidays collection. Let me show you the inside. This palette is huge. I know. I hate huge palettes. I don't like this. I don't like storing this. It doesn't fit anywhere. But look at that. Look at that freaking color story. Yes, it has 2 pressed glitters, but it has so many other colors that I don't even mind, and they're actually pretty decent quality. And the color story and the quality, like, okay, those blues, all of these shadows are that same quality as the Blueberry Muffin, as those amazing shadows in there. Like, these are some of the best shadows in my collection, and it has like purple, red, green, orange, like everything you need, and neutrals. It's just so amazing. I'm so obsessed with this palette. When I was like sick and hospitalized and like my fever wouldn't go down and I was feeling so terrible, I literally took this palette into bed with me. I know you're probably thinking like, ew, germs, but like, I didn't have corona. I didn't have the flu. I don't know what I had, but I took tests. I don't have anything super serious that I am worried about infecting my makeup with. I just had a fever that wouldn't go down. Anyway, I took this in bed with me and kept playing with it and swatching it on my arms and legs, and it just made me so happy and brought me so much joy when I was feeling so terrible. And every look I create with this, I love so much. It works so amazing. It has so many beautiful colors. Even though it's a ginormous palette, this is my number 1. I love it so, so much. And yes, I have slept with it. because like I said, I was super sick and it made me feel better. So that is my 2020 palette ranking video. Let me know in the comments down below what your #1 palette for 2020 was, and also what you thought of this ranking video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these palettes that I ranked, if you agree, if you disagree, or anything like that. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to check out my earlier video where I used the Nomad palette, because even though it's a super fail, I still think it's entertaining and I think you'd enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!